Here we go. Okay, so this is Bob Davies, and I am speaking with Tally Wilkinson and explaining a bit about the type of keynote that I do. So, Tally, are you able to take some notes?
Yes, I sure am.
If you can draw 7 circles across the top of a page about the size of a quarter, go ahead and do that and let me know when you have them. And the committee members that are listening to this, same thing, 7 circles.
Okay, I've got my 7 circles.
Okay, so we're going to go from the right to the left like the Japanese do. And I always say to people, I know why you're in the railroad or the gas, and I'm doing this without customizing it, but I know why you're in the business you're in. And then I joke and I say, because you love people, right? Well, let's just draw a dollar sign in that far right circle.
Okay.
Making money isn't the most important thing in life, but it is up there in importance with air and breathing. Now, here's the sequence of events for any kind of a sales organization. Again, I don't cover this in my program, but it's a good way to describe what I do. And in order to make money, you need to have sales. So in the second from the right, just write the word sales. In order to have sales, you need to have the product or service to sell. So write in product or service. In order to sell the product or service, you need to do presentations. In order to do presentations, you need to set appointments. In order to set appointments, you need to make calls. So you have calls, appointments, presentations, product or service, sales, and money, right?
Yep.
1 circle left. In order to implement and execute those circles to the right, you need to have an attitude that supports you in taking that sequence of events. So draw an arrow between attitude and the rest of those 7 circles. So this is what you should have. Well, you're not seeing it. And to the right of that line, organizations, associations do a great job of teaching people, their own companies of the people who are attending. They do a great job in learning and understanding, here's what you do, here's how you do it, now go do it. It's very likely that the entire group will answer yes to these 3 questions. How many of you would agree you know what to do, that if you did it, you would have improvement in your life, really, health, business, and personal? So knowing what to do, people are going to raise their hand, they know what to do. How many of you would agree that not only do you know what you need to do, but you're capable of doing it? People are going to raise their hands. And then number 3, how many of you agree that not only do you know what to do, not only are you capable of doing it, but number 3, you're not doing all that you could be doing to be as successful as you could possibly be in your health, business, and personal life? I'm going to get agreement. So what's missing? What's separating people from what they're capable of doing to what they are actually able to get accomplished? And that's where that first circle comes in. Now, when I say attitude, here's what is present in abundance. Inspiration. So a lot of people can do an inspiration type of a presentation, and that feels good, it's entertaining, but it doesn't have an impact. And what I'm looking at is I do something very unique. Now, it has to do with my background. My background was I was a college football coach, and I coached an Olympic gold medal winning wrestler. And so my background was as an athletic coach, but I was a unique kind of a coach. I wanted to know, tell me what the code is. What's the code to coach an athlete to be the best that they can be, 1 play at a time, 70 times a game? That was the average football game. College football game has 70 plays. What is the code to unlock the best ability that this athlete has? And so I did a scientific research, and I had some great opportunities to study some of the world's best scientists. I was a head football coach at Caltech in Pasadena. I studied a Nobel Prize winner by the name of Roger Sperry. And I developed something that I then went on to Cal State Fullerton, and along with coaches like Steve Mariucci, I don't know if you know that name, he's a former head coach for 49ers, San Francisco, Detroit Lions, and now he's an NFL broadcaster. We were roommates.
Oh, wow.
He's not, I think his claim to fame is not that he is a former NFL head coach. I think his claim to fame is that we were once roommates. But anyway, maybe not. But we refined this and we taught it to our athletes. And we won 2 conference championships. We were predicted to finish last both years that we won the conference championship. He then takes it on to Green Bay and he works with a quarterback that was casted away. Nobody wanted him. A guy by the name of Brett Favre, and helped him to become all NFL and Hall of Fame. And then so our boosters started asking me if I can do this, if I can speak to their teams. And that's how I left football coaching to do this for businesses. And what I saw was dramatic in terms of what's missing. So when I say attitude is the key, what I mean is the ability to focus, to understand what focus is. People have never been taught how to focus. How do you focus? Define focus. Focus is the ability to influence what you pay attention to. And if no one teaches you how to influence this, then what you do is you default to the way human nature is, to our instincts, which means we're going to have a comfort zone. And when things get too uncomfortable, we're going to avoid, and we're not going to know that we're avoiding because we're going to rationalize, and we're not going to know that we're doing that because we can't trust our own perception. So one of the things that's a result of what I do is a specific understanding of how to focus and how to increase focus and how to change what you're paying attention to, because just about everyone leads their behavior with how they feel. So, for example, somebody has a goal, they want to have fitness, and they say that they're going to get up at 4 a.m. to start their day off with a workout. And then the alarm rings at 4 a.m. Question is, do they get up? If they're dictated to by how they feel, chances are great they're not going to do it. And if you don't feel like making a particular call, if you don't feel like turning in some type of paperwork, I can customize this aspect. But people who are led by how they feel only do things that they feel like doing, which means that they get stuck in this time warp of mediocrity. However, people who are taught how to lead by their identity, by who they are, by what they're committed to. And the identity that I am proposing is a commitment to excellence. So if I'm making decisions of what I do in my life with the driving force being I'm committed to excellence, I will do different things than I will if my driving force is how I feel. And nobody's teaching that. How do you do this? That is a direct result of what I would do regardless of how much time I have. Another thing that happens as a result of this presentation that I do is people understand what's called emotional regulation. And that is, why do they respond the way that they respond, and how can they have an intervention for a more peaceful response so that they're less stressed and that they spend more time as the best version of themselves than they have in the past. There are specific ways that people can have influence over this and actually change the way their brain works. This is called brain plasticity. And one of the things that I do in a very simplified form is all of my recommendations are based on science. Now, I don't burden the audience with heavy dosage of the science, but I do show them some proof of concept. And as a result of this, people really understand that they have a lot more capacity than they ever thought possible to create circumstances, to create events in their lives. And this is very emotionally freeing for people, and it just excites people and gives them a new sense of purpose. So the audience will also learn how to form habits and also how to get rid of bad habits. Now, if you can do that in an hour or 90 minutes, you have brought a gift to your audience. And it has taken me every bit of 35 years to learn how to present this in such a way that there is a chance that somebody in that audience can change their lives. It is. And if one more thing, if you just draw a triangle, at the top of the triangle would be your goals. This is what you want to accomplish. The base of the triangle is the foundation. And the foundation is always three things: eat, move, sleep. And what drives all of that is mindset. So what I teach is a mindset of preparation, a mindset of having goals and planning what you're going to do over a short period of time, and then keeping your mindset in such a way that you're driven by your commitment and not by whether you feel like doing something or not. And as a result of this, you will find that people can have all kinds of breakthroughs that in the past they just lived in resignation, accepting that this is the best they can be doing. They've settled and they didn't know the difference. Nobody ever taught them how to do this. So that's why I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, fantastic.
I'm gonna stop that recording so it's not very long, and